Gauss divergence theorem. Read the statement. It says if f bar is a vector function defined in a piecewise smooth closed surface. What kind of surface it is? It is a closed surface enclosing a volume d. Let d be the volume. Let d be the volume inside this closed surface S. If f bar is continuous and having continuous first order partial derivatives, what are the partial derivatives of f bar? Dou f bar by dou x and dou f bar by dou y. If these two partial derivatives are continuous and f bar is also continuous on and inside S, then surface integral f bar dot n bar, surface integral f bar dot n bar ds over S, what kind of surface it is? Closed surface, is equal to triple integral del dot f bar dv over d. Del dot f bar is a divergence. So this theorem converts surface integral to triple integral. This theorem converts surface integral to triple integral. It says surface integral of f bar dot n bar over the closed surface is same as divergence of f bar over the region D. Where is the region? D is the region inside this closed surface. So now what we'll do, we'll compute this triple integral for the present problem and see whether this is equal to the surface integral or not. So we are going to verify Gauss divergence theorem. Now this is the value we got for this closed surface. This closed surface is consisting of four triangular planes. This is actually a prism with four triangular planes. So the total value we got it as 36. Okay. Now the verification of Gauss divergence theorem. So f bar is given as x plus y square I bar minus 2x j bar plus 2yz k bar, and you need to compute divergence of f bar. Divergence of f bar is dou by dou x of the first component plus dou by dou y of the second component plus dou by dou z of the third component. That is the formula. First component derivative is you are differentiating with respect to x. So x derivative is 1, y square derivative is 0. First component derivative with respect to x 1. Second component derivative with respect to y is 0. There is no y in this. Third component derivative with respect to z is 2y. So this is 1 plus 2y. 1 plus 2y is del dot f bar. Del dot f bar. Now you need to find out del dot f bar dv. So del dot f bar dv means triple integral 2y plus 1 dv over the domain D. Can I write this 2y plus 1 dv as triple integral 2y plus triple integral 1 dv? Triple integral 2y dv plus triple integral 1 dv. I am separating this, I have taken this triple integral to each term. What is the advantage in writing like this? What is triple integral 1 dv?
Volume.
Volume. And this is a prism. What is the volume of a prism? With the sides 3, 3, 6. If ABC are lengths of the triangular prism, then what is its volume? I think from vector algebra you might have known. It is ABC by 6. Please verify. Or if you don't remember this value, you can substitute these limits and compute. You will observe that that is going to be the value obtained through this formula ABC by 6. Okay. In this case, I used that formula. So 2y plus 1, I have written it as separate integrals 2y and 1, and triple integral 1 I used this formula ABC by 6. So a value is 3, b value is 6, c value is c. ABC by 6 is 6 gets cancelled, 3 3s are 9. If you don't remember this value, then simply substitute the limits. Right here z limits y limits and x limits, compute the integral, you notice that the value is going to be 9. Okay, and here you are integrating with respect to in the order dz dy dx order. What are z limits of integration? For triple integral, you know the procedure. This is a solid region which is inside this prism, and what is the base of that solid? The base of the solid is the this triangle. So you take this as so this is the projection. This is the projection of the solid prism on xy plane. So for z limits of integration, what we have to do for z limits, from the projection you have to draw a line parallel to z axis. If you remember multiple integrals concepts, you need to take the, for z limits you have to draw a line parallel to z axis. Z varies from where it is entering. It is entering through xy plane, leaving through this inclined plane. Okay, on this when it is entering, z value is 0, and it is leaving through the surface. On the surface, z value is 6 minus 2x minus y by 2. So z varies from 0 to 6 minus 2x minus y by 2. Remaining x and y limits should be taken on the projection. The projection is a triangular region bounded by x-intercept 3, y-intercept 6. So this is x by 3 plus y by 6 equal to 1. When you simplify this, you will get 2x plus y equal to 6. For x limits, here I have taken dz dx dy. For x limits, you have to draw a line parallel to x axis. So when you draw a line parallel to x axis, x varies from 0 to, what is the value of x here? X value is going to be 6 minus y by 2. That is what I have written here. 6 minus y by 2 is x limit. Y varying from 0 to 6. Y varying from 0 to 6. Okay, so then I integrated this 2y with respect to z. What is integration of 2y with respect to z? This plus 1 I have taken outside in the second term. Okay, so this is the second integral, this is the first integral, and integration of 2y with respect to z is 2y into z. Z limits are from 0 to this 1 by 2 times x, 6 minus 2x minus y. I substituted this limit in place of z. This is the limit, and this simplification we have to do with respect to x and y integration. And after simplification you got this, and integrate with respect to x. Y integration is yx, x integration is x square by 2. 2 gets cancelled, x square into y square integration is y square into x, and substitute the limits 0 to 6 minus y by 2. Then substitute these limits in place of x, then everything will be in terms of y. Again integrate, simplify this, integrate with respect to y. Okay, you will get to 27 is the value of the first integral. Second integral value is carry forward. Second integral value is 9. So first integral value 27 plus second integral value 9 is equal to 36. And this is what we got on the surface integral also. So surface integral f bar dot n bar is 36. Triple integral f bar dot del dot f bar dv is also 36. So from this, what is your conclusion is, therefore surface integral over s f bar dot n bar ds is equals to triple integral del dot f bar dv over the dv domain d. Therefore you will say that Gauss divergence theorem is verified. Gauss divergence theorem is verified. So how the questions will come in examinations? Either you'll be asked to verify Gauss divergence theorem, verify divergence theorem. If you are asked to verify divergence theorem, you have to compute LHS, you have to compute RHS, show that both are equal, and verification problems will be coming for 12 marks. Okay, so because it is a long problem, it will take so much time. So when you're asked to verify divergence theorem, necessarily you have to compute both surface integral as well as triple integral and show that both are equal. Or you may be asked to apply divergence theorem. When you're asked to apply divergence theorem, make sure that the surface is a closed surface, and then you convert this surface integral to triple integral. That means Instead of evaluating the surface integral directly in the usual method, you need to convert this into triple integral and then evaluate the uh, answer. Last one, you may be asked to simply evaluate the integral. If you're asked to evaluate the integral, then choice is yours. Either you compute surface integral or you convert into triple integral and get the value. So what to do and how to do is your choice when you're asked to just evaluate. Okay, you can apply your own method of your choice. Whereas if you're asked to apply divergence theorem, then necessarily you have to apply. When you're asked to verify divergence theorem, then you have to compute both the integrals and show that both are matching. Now we'll just see one more problem. Now all of you look at this problem. Verify Gauss divergence theorem. Now the question is about Gauss verification of the Gauss divergence theorem for the given vector f bar equal x square minus yz I bar plus y square minus zx j bar plus z square minus xy k bar z square minus xy k bar. Take now the rectangular parallelepiped x varies from 0 to a, y varies from 0 to b, and z varies from 0 to c. So this rectangular parallelepiped is nothing but a cuboid. Okay, cuboid with six faces, where each face is a rectangular region. So I have given some names to these vertices O, A, B, C, D, E, F, G. So it consisting of six faces. Each face is a rectangular region. S1 is OABG. OABG is the uh, base of this cuboid, and this is S1. This is S1, and S2 is the parallel plane. S2 is the plane parallel to S1, which is CDEF, CDEF, and S3 is this one, OADE, and S4 is the parallel plane, and S5 is the plane which is on the YZ plane. What is it? S5 OGFE. OGFE is the S5, and S6 is the front facing plane ABCD. This is S6 ABCD. And you know these equations, right? OABG is part of S1 is part of XY plane. Therefore, this equation is Z equal to 0, and S2 is just plane parallel to S1, which is at a distance of C units. Therefore, its equation is Z equal to C. S3 is part of XZ plane. So, what is a S3 equation? Can you tell me? It is going
Y
to be
equals to
y equal to 0,
y equal to 0.
and S4 is parallel to S3 at a distance of B units. Therefore, it
Y
is y
equals
equal to B, and S5 is part of YZ plane. Therefore, it is x equal to 0,
to x equals to 0.
and S6 is parallel to S5. Therefore, it is going to be x equal to A. So these are the six plane surface equations. And can you tell the outward normal vector to this? Because we need to compute outward normal. We need outward normal vectors in computations. What is outward normal vector to S1? Is it
Minus
k bar or minus k bar?
minus k bar.
Minus k bar, because the outward normal vector should go away from the surface. So this is minus k bar. What is outward normal vector to S2?
K bar.
K bar. That is the thing you need to remember. You need to make a note. And here outward normal vector to S3 is minus
Minus j bar.
to S4 is
J
J
bar.
bar, and to S5 is, it will be minus I bar, and plus for S6 is, it is going to be plus K bar plus I bar. Is this clear? So once you identify the outward normal vectors correctly, and once you have the equations of the plane, and everything is going to be very clear. Now, do you realize that double integral or surface integral over S1 is nothing but double integral over S1? Because S1 is part of XY plane. Similarly, surface integral over S3 is nothing but double integral over S3. Similarly, surface integral over S4, S5, surface integral over S5 is nothing but double integral over S5, because these are all part of coordinate planes. When the surface is lying on the coordinate plane, then there is no difference between surface integral and the double integral. And do you realize that S2 projection on XY plane is S1? S2 projection on S1 plane is S1. Can you see that? These two are parallel planes. Okay. And S4 projection on XZ plane is S3. These two are exactly similar. Similarly, S6 ABCD projection on YZ plane is nothing but S5, which is OGFE. That is also you have to make a note. Now there are 6 planes uh, consisting. There are this closed surface is consisting of 6 planes. So surface integral over 6 planes is equal to sum of the surface integrals over 6 planes. Okay. So surface integral over this piecewise smooth closed surface is equal to sum of the surface integral over each plane. So let us compute each surface integral and then add all the 6 surface integrals. First one is z equal to 0. Z equal to 0, outward normal vector is minus k bar, just now we discussed. Z equal to 0 is S1 plane, outside normal vector is minus k bar. So what is n bar dot k bar? N bar is k bar minus k bar dot k bar modulus of minus 1 is equal to 1. And f bar dot n bar. F bar dot what is n bar? Minus k bar. F bar dot minus k bar is minus into third component of f bar. What is third component of f bar? Z square minus xy. So z square minus xy. But what is z value from the surface equation? From the surface equation, what is z value? 0. Therefore, I can substitute 0. Minus or minus plus xy. Now I have to integrate f bar dot n bar, which is xy, over the surface S1. And this ds is nothing but dy dxy modulus of n bar dot k bar. And modulus of n bar dot k bar is 1. And I said that there is no difference between, this is 1. This entire thing is going to be 1. There is no difference between surface integral and the double integral because yes, the surface is lying on xy plane. And f bar dot n bar is xy. And your region of integration is a rectangular region. You can see a rectangular region S1 bounded by x varies from 0 to a, y varies from 0 to b. And we know for a rectangular region all the limits are going to be constant. So because the region of integration is a rectangle, y varies from 0 to b and x varies from 0 to a. When you are integrating with respect to y, treat x as constant. X is constant, y integration y square by 2 with the limits from 0 to b. So when you substitute the limits, it is going to be b square by 2. X integration is x square by 2 with the limits from 0 to a means a square by 2 into b square by 2 is a square by 4. A square by 2 into b square by 2 is a square b square by 4. That is the integral on S1. Second integral is on S2. S2 is a plane parallel to S1. See, S2 is a plane parallel to S1. This plane equation is z equal to c. Z equal to c. And what is the projection of S2 on xy plane? S1. So outward normal vector is k bar, which is going away from the surface. So n bar is k bar. Therefore, modulus of n bar dot k bar is k bar dot k bar is 1. F bar dot n bar is f bar dot k bar. F bar dot k bar is the third component of f bar. Third component of f bar is z square minus xy. Now, what is z value on the surface? Z value on the surface is c. Can you see? Therefore, I can substitute z with c. So this is c square minus xy. Now integral over S2 f bar dot n bar. But S2 is in the space. Therefore, I have to take the projection of S2 on xy plane. Projection of S2 on xy plane is going to be S1. You can see. Okay. Projection of S2 on xy plane is S1. And ds is going to be dy dxy modulus of n bar dot k bar. F bar dot n bar is c square minus xy. This is c square. Z value c square minus xy. Now I separated the integrals. C square on one side. I applied double integral to each term. C square minus xy dy dx. And again it is a rectangular region. S1 is a rectangular region. Therefore all the limits are going to be constants. So y varies from 0 to b and x varies from 0 to a. Okay. So c square integration c square constant outside. Double integral 1 gives the area. Area of the rectangle is bc. And when you integrate xy with respect to x and y and substitute the limits, you will get a square b square by 4. That is the second integral. In a similar manner, you are going to compute remaining two pairs of integrals. Totally four more integrals are there. So on S3, S3 is a part of XZ plane. You can see this is S3. S3 is part of XZ plane. Therefore, its equation is y equal to 0. Outward normal vector is minus j bar, and f bar dot n bar is f bar dot n bar is f bar dot minus j bar. Minus is outside. F bar dot j bar is second component of f bar. This is second component. But you see on S3 y equal to 0. S3 equation is S3 equation is y equal to 0. Therefore, I can substitute y equal to 0. So this is zx minus or minus zx. So integral over S3 is equal to f bar dot n bar is zx. ds is dx dz by modulus of n bar dot k bar, n bar dot j bar. And anyway, modulus of n bar dot j bar is 1. This is modulus of minus j bar dot j bar is modulus of minus 1 equal to 1. So this is 1. So when you integrate with respect to x and z, x varies from 0 to a, z varies from 0 to c, because S3 itself is a rectangular region. For a rectangular region, all the limits are constants. So a square c square by 4. Next one is on the parallel plane. S4 is parallel to S3. So when you take projection of S4 on xz plane, you will get S3. S3 is nothing but RxZ. So in our case, RxZ is nothing but S3 only. This is x3. This is nothing but Rxy. And this is Rxz. Okay. So again, f bar dot n bar is so I replaced. Okay. So outward normal vector is j bar. For S4, outward normal vector is j bar. F bar dot n bar is y square minus zx. And y, what is y value on S4? Y value on S4 is b, because surface equation is y equal to b. I substitute y equal to b here, b square minus zx. So f bar dot n bar is f bar dot n bar. ds is dx dz by modulus of n bar dot j bar. This is 1. And x varies from 0 to a, z varies from 0 to c. B square minus zx. When you integrate, you will get that ac b square minus a square v square, a square c square by 4. Now finally, S5. S5 is a part of YZ plane. On YZ plane, x equal to 0. And on YZ plane, outward normal vector is minus I bar. So modulus of n bar dot p bar is modulus of minus I bar dot I bar. Modulus of minus 1 equal to 1. Okay. So f bar dot n bar is f bar dot minus I bar. And that is minus outside. F bar dot I bar is first component of f bar, which is x square minus yz. But x equal to 0, on yz plane. So when you put x equal to 0, you will get yz. S5 equation is x equal to 0. S5 equation is x equal to 0. So you just have to integrate f bar dot n bar, which is yz. This is going to be 1. Y varies from 0 to b, z varies from 0 to c. Simplification is b square c square by 4. Okay. Now finally parallel plane. Parallel plane equation is x equal to a. S6 equation is x equal to a. Outward normal vector is I bar. Modulus of n bar dot I bar is modulus of n bar dot I bar is 1. Modulus of n bar dot I bar is 1. F bar dot n bar is a square minus yz. X value is a. X value is a here. And dy is y varies from 0 to b, z varies from 0 to c. And when you integrate again, you will get a square bc minus b square c square by 4. So these are the 6 surface integrals. We did all the hard work. So S is nothing but a union of S1, S2, S3, S4, S5, S6. So integral over 6 surfaces is equal to sum of all 6 surface integrals. This is the first surface integral. This is the second surface integral. This is the third surface integral. This is fourth surface integral. This is fifth surface integral. This is the sixth surface integral. So when you add all these things and simplify, it's an algebraic simplification. You will notice that the simplification is ABC into A plus B plus C. So the simplification of this algebraic expression is ABC into A plus B plus C. That is only left hand side. The question is asked to verify Gauss divergence theorem. When you are asked to verify Gauss divergence theorem, you need to compute the triple integral also. So triple integral of del dot f bar is here. Divergence of f bar is dou by dou x of first component plus dou by dou y of the second component plus dou by dou z of the third component. So first component derivative is 2x, second component derivative with respect to y is 2y, third component derivative with respect to z is 2z. That is 2 into x plus y plus z, and this you have to compute over the cubidical region, and cubidical region all the limits are going to be constants. So x varies from 0 to a, y varies from 0 to b, and z varies from 0 to c. When you are integrating with respect to one variable, remaining two variables to be treated as constants. So x and y is treated as constant. So x plus y integration is x plus y into z plus z integration is z square by 2. So this 2 is taken outside. You have to substitute the limits in place of z from 0 to c. When I substitute this, x plus y into c plus c square by 2 dy dx. Now it is just a double integral involving two variables x and y. So integrate with respect to y. When you are integrating with respect to y, so this c is taken outside. Integration of x with respect to y is xy plus y integration is y square by 2. C one c is taken outside, therefore only one more c is there. C by 2 into integration with respect to y is y. Substitute the limits, you will get purely, substitute these limits in place of y, you will get purely in terms of x. Again integrate with respect to x, substitute these limits 0 to a. Final answer is going to be abc into a plus b plus c. This you can verify. I just skipped one more step. So from this you can see that triple integral is equal to the surface integral. Therefore, surface integral over S f bar dot n cap ds is equal to, you can say that triple integral over d del dot f bar dv. Therefore, you can declare that Gauss divergence theorem is verified. Because the problem is to verify Gauss divergence theorem, we verified Gauss divergence theorem. So problems are lengthy like this. It is not possible to do these calculations on a whiteboard. It will take so much of time. You cannot cover many problems. That's why I have done all these problems on a paper and I took the scanned copy. So remember that Gauss divergence theorem can be applied only when the surface is a closed surface. If it is an open surface, you cannot apply Gauss divergence theorem. The surface can be a smooth surface or it can be a piecewise smooth surface. If it is a piecewise smooth surface, it consists of several surfaces. Then you have to compute the surface integral on each surface, which is part of that S, and then add all these integrals. And in tomorrow's class, we'll see some more problems on this verification of divergence theorem. So far, we did verification of divergence theorem on two closed surfaces. One is on the prism, which consisting of triangular faces. The other one is a cuboid, which consisting of rectangular faces. Previous surface integral containing 4 faces. This surface integral containing 6 faces.